welcome to another episode of Nerd Age, where we discuss everything nerdy. My name is Mick. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Josh.
What's up?
Corey.
Hello.
And Jonah.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the show, guys. Today we're going to be talking about episode 4 of Obi Wan, part 4, because there's no names to the episode. So we're just going to jump right into spoilers. So what did you guys think of the episode?
It's probably my least favorite one this season. I like, there's things I liked.
Yeah.
But again, there were some things that I was just like, kind of missed the mark for me, which is fine. I thought the good things I really liked, if you played Jedi Fallen Order, it was really cool to kind of see him go to this place where you've been before with Cal Kestis. I thought him going down and seeing the Jedi.
What was it called? The something
Inquisitorius.
Fortress
Inquisitorius. Him seeing the tomb and all the Jedi kind of dead there, and that was cool. It's kind of cool to kind of watch videos and see, what Jedi are those, and people trying to figure that out. Mm-hmm. I thought that was good. It was good to finally see Obi-Wan kind of like, Corey and I talked about this on our reaction, is using the lightsaber, starting to do some stuff, using the Force more, kind of opening himself up to the Force. So that was cool. But there are just things that I think the third sister, for me, the episode before, I thought she did a better job. And then this episode, again, she just felt over the top. I feel like she's acting in a different series. Everyone else is kind of on this level, and she's like up to 11. And it's hard. Like, she reminds me of a cartoon villain a little bit. And so that's kind of, which is unfortunate because I like the character and I think there would be some good stuff to do with her. But
and is that her fault, or is that how they're
that's what I'm saying. I think it's a direction. Like, if they're seeing that it's too over the top, that's when you'd be like, hey, how about we do a different take where you're not so. But I just feel like all those scenes in the interrogation were kind of like, I don't know, her delivery and stuff went back to the first 2 episodes where it's very much like, where is he? You know, like flaring the nostrils, doing stuff like that I'm like, it's a little too much. And then it just did feel very like, I think Corey mentioned this, like a Rebels episode. Like, hey, we got to go rescue her. There, we're out. Okay, sweet. 23 minutes. Like in a Rebels episode, this was longer, but still, it did feel a little too paint by numbers.
I think the last episode had cool connections and had really interesting, like, they're leading on to more things and also hinting to other things, which I think the tomb was kind of that moment for this episode. And I also really liked the fact that they had a really cool shot. I mean, this is just a shot. This has nothing to do with story at all. But man, was that sick when he was in the dark and the 2 stormtroopers were like, oh, and then zoom, slicing them in the back, and then zoom back to like stealth mode. And then take out the other guy. That was awesome. That was really cool. I mean, we talked about it in our live reaction, but I think this episode, before we even watched the episode, I called it. I was like, this is going to be the most filler, if you can call it a filler episode, because you have to set up the final 2, right? This has to be the T for the home run to be hit. So they have to set up the next part, and it wasn't going to be super interesting. It was just cool. Like, I love the visuals. But the content wasn't, like in the Rebels, series. Not every episode was awesome. There were some that were stinkers, in my opinion. But they're all
watch it.
Yeah. Okay. But they're all means to an end, right?
Yeah.
So I loved how the base looked. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Like the check-in spot, like the scanner thing was really sick. Mm-hmm. Also, the agent, what's her name? The lady.
Tala?
Yeah, she was really cool. I really enjoyed her. Yeah.
I kind of wish it was flipped. I kind of wish she was a third sister. Just because her acting is just like, it's more subdued, but she like, I don't know. She like
there's more intensity with her eyes.
Yeah. I don't know.
If she was a third sister, though, she'd be like, what are you doing here?
I don't know. It's, I guess.
Well, the actors do have control over like how they deliver things. And obviously if if the director really wants them to say it really animated like that,
Yeah.
they'll get them to do it. But I really did like that agent.
Yeah, she's really good.
She's really cool. What do you think, Mick?
I think I agree. It was definitely my least favorite episode so far, and I just feel like there was such a missed opportunity with, like, if you think about it, Obi-Wan before had thought Vader, Anakin was dead, and then meets him after 10 years, and then I feel like the aftermath of that just seemed kind of glossed over. Like there was a really short scene with him in the Bacta tank, and kind of almost having like a Force weird conversation or vision or something with Vader when he's in his, and then it just kind of ends there, and then he's off on another rescue mission for Leia. I wish that they had just like taken their time with that, and really, I feel like a lot of like cool character development could have come out of that. And like I know that we had talked about wanting to see like Clone War flashbacks, and like to me that would have been like a really good time to do that. And like, yes, you probably could have said that the episode still would have felt filler, but I think it would have been filler with like a lot of good substance and something that would have been more worthwhile than just, oh, Leia got captured again, so now she has to be rescued again. Leia gets captured a lot in Star Wars. Just but yeah, like you said, I did like that Obi-Wan seems to be coming more into his old ways with, being more familiar with the Force, using his lightsaber more. I liked the callbacks from Fallen Order. I just replayed it, so it was kind of cool seeing another perspective of the fortress, and he gets down there the same way that Cal Kestis does, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I guess another thing that kind of disappointed me was, so at the end of episode 3, before 4 came out, I had speculated that, there's a reason why Vader didn't pursue Obi-Wan in that moment with the fire. Like, he's still on the planet. Like, he's not just going to let him go. But it turns out that's kind of just what happened. So I was kind of disappointed that they, in my opinion, that was a writing error for Vader, like what Vader would have done after that moment. So, and the fact that like that is what happened, because he was upset with Reva for. It
wasn't like, well done.
Yeah. He was upset with Reva for like, you let him go. It's like, you let him go too. So what's the deal here?
Choking himself.
What is wrong with you? And that's another thing. I didn't like how like really forgiving he was to Reva about letting him go, and then there's a tracker on the ship, and he's like, I've underestimated you. Apparently, it felt weird to me.
Okay.
But yeah, some good things in the show, but I don't like that they're not showing Vader as much as I think that they should. This is like prime Vader. This is when we should be like seeing most of him, and I feel like the third sister is just taking screen time away from more Vader.
The show's called Obi-Wan, not Vader. So
it's not called Reva either.
It's not called Reva. I mean, that's why I'm here for the show. Is I'm here for Vader and Obi-Wan.
It's
and
good.
I just feel like I'm one of those key players is being kind of pushed to the side, which historically I think that they've done pretty well with Vader, which, don't use him too much. Like in Rogue One, I think that's fine. Like he doesn't have to be shown that much, but like this is such a personal story with Vader and Obi-Wan. It just seems weird that he's not being used that much, but there's 2 more episodes. They could be long episodes and they could deliver on that. So it's hard to really like have a complete judgment on it when the show's not over. So,
yeah.
But just right now, it just is like.
Well, it's tough to kind of write a story that has weight to it when you know the futures of everyone. So Reva, you don't know what her determined conclusion is.
Yeah.
So that's nice to have a character that you can do anything you want with, and you don't know what's going to happen with her. So, I mean, to toss him a bone, it's good to have someone that, has an unwritten future. But what do you think, Josh?
I agree. It's probably the weakest out of all of them, or at least my least favorite out of the 4 episodes. But there's still stuff that I enjoyed in them. I think probably one of my favorite things was the very beginning where that scene with him in the back to tank and like kind of like weird, like you were saying, like that connection, like you were seeing the parallels between him and him and Vader. Together, yeah, exactly.
Force bath.
A little force bath action. I thought that was really cool. And I thought that was I wish we could have explored it better. And my immediate reaction was like, oh, we know what happens in back to tanks, baby. We're doing flashbacks.
Here we go.
Book of Boba Fett. Let's go. Yeah. And I was like, dang it. That would have been a chance to just give me a little bit.
Do you think that's why they didn't do it? Because they just wanted to like be different from Book of Boba Fett?
I think they're saving it for the final episodes.
You think we're going to get flashbacks in the final episodes?
I think that's going to be the big thing that is kind of like
flashback to
what opens up to flashback to Obi Wan and Anakin.
But haven't they already done that? They already did it.
Like a new scene
that's not filmed because Anakin, Ewan McGregor in an interview said seeing Anakin in his costume again and filming scenes with him was incredible. And he wasn't talking about the Vader costume. He was talking about his Jedi costume.
He specified that. He was like, and I'm not talking about the Darth Vader costume.
Talking about Coruscant.
So I think that's going to be the big thing that flips Obi-Wan to give him hope again or to realize something. I think that's going to be kind of the MacGuffin of it. Yeah. It's like he's going to have a flashback, and I think if they keep showing them it, if they keep doing it, then it loses its power when you finally get something that's like, oh my gosh, a de-aged Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. I'm just thinking, again, obviously that's in my mind like wishful thinking, but that's kind
this guy's setting himself up for failure again. Guys.
Why do you do
you heard it here first.
Tell us about how Han Solo is going to show up again.
But other than that, I mean, seeing all the stuff in live action was cool. Just the place they were in. I thought it looked really good. I thought it was really well done. I know we've
budget was higher for this one.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. They moved the budget over.
How much of that do you think was filmed in the volume?
I think 100% of it.
I think a lot, probably.
A lot of it.
Was,
yeah. But it looked cool.
They have an underwater volume.
They just kept walking the same thing. Now change the scenery. Walk back the other way.
Exactly. Seeing the Purge troopers in live action was cool.
Yeah.
Talking about Fallen Order and stuff like that. Like seeing them in live action was really cool.
How do you like the face slap of the one stormtrooper?
When she fights him off?
When she's getting away.
I like how she grabbed from the guy from the bottom and pulled him down too. That was pretty legit.
And then, just kind of Obi-Wan kind of opening himself up to the Force, we kind of already talked about. But just seeing where he's at. That line she says to him where she's like, oh, you need to heal up, basically, or rest.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm fine. She's like, I'm not talking about not only your body, but your mind kind of thing. And I think that gives us like good idea of where Obi-Wan's at this point in his life.
Right.
So I thought all that stuff was cool. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Oh, yeah, the tomb. Seeing the tomb was cool. Just seeing that they're kind of just keeping these Force-sensitive people down there. Maybe they're doing experiments for...
Yeah, that's what I thought, too.
For the Emperor with him.
Did you recognize any of them?
The first guy is... I forget his name. Old Jedi.
He's a detective Jedi.
Is he the one that helped...
Ahsoka loses her... Yeah. Okay. And so he shows up in a couple other Clone Wars.
Like the goat-looking...
Yeah.
And then the other guy that has like a shark... like he's in Attack of the Clones in... there's two guys that are in the Geonosis. The other two girls weren't anybody I recognized. But
and then you see I think that one of the younglings was from the opening scene, right? But yeah, so that was cool. Kind of a cool reveal. I think it would have been... I think we got enough where it's like, yeah, you notice one Jedi that's recognizable. It would have been a little ridiculous if he's like going through and he's like naming them all off. Yeah.
There's everybody you've ever seen in all the movies. Convenient.
But that was cool. And yeah, I like the payoff of the speeders at the end because I didn't register when he was like, oh, we can take those speeders in. I didn't register the number. Yeah. What are they? T60 somethings
T63 or something.
I didn't register. And then when they showed up at the end, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool to get them in somewhere else other than the Hoth. And then I did kind of like getting that continuation of the, like, we're moving towards the rebellion.
Right.
And the fact that at the beginning they were like, we're not soldiers. Like, we're not going to do that stuff. And at the end, when she's like, kind of a dick move a little bit to be like, I guess you're soldiers now. But I'm like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
that was Corey. I think in the reaction, Corey was like, "Oh, dude, I wouldn't say that to somebody." The French side.
Yeah. It was
hey,
not.
she's just letting them know what's up.
That's the push.
That's
the push she needs
coming out in there.
Exactly. She's like, you can't just sit around and expect not to push back.
Well, it wasn't a kind thing to say.
Tough love.
There's one thing that I thought was cool. We've talked about this, like this kind of, they have an opportunity to enhance the episode 4, with this show. And I thought an interesting thing is, so they escape and they have a tracker in Lola, right? And so then if you go into episode 4, when they escape the Death Star, Leia says to Han, it's way too easy. They must be tracking the ship. And so that's kind of, if they did that on purpose, where she's experienced this before.
Oh, so she remembers that part of it.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying it could be
makes
like,
sense.
it'll be interesting to be like, why would she make that comment unless when she was younger, she escaped a place, it was easy, and then there's...
It's crazy they had that in mind back when they wrote
I know,
episode 4.
crazy.
I know.
It's
but
poetry.
I mean, that's kind of interesting. Here's a question for you guys.
Yes.
We've talked about the difference between movies and shows, right? At this point, I think I would have much rather had the Obi-Wan movie, 2.5-hour movie, come out as opposed to these 6 episodes. Because I feel like even though we've got more time, and this is just for these 4, it could completely change after I get these next 2.
100%.
But I feel like even though we've more time doesn't always mean better, because I feel like we've wasted quite a bit of time, and I feel like it could have been streamlined into a movie and it would have worked better. What do you guys think?
This was the first episode that I was like, you know what, maybe I think a movie might have served a better story. But like you said, it's hard to really tell without the whole series being out. But this was the first episode where I was like, this feels filler, and it feels like it's just kind of like you said, just wasting time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would agree.
I don't know. I'll wait till I see the next 2 episodes, because very well the next 2 episodes would be awesome, and I'd be like, yeah.
That's why I made that caveat, of course.
But yeah, I mean, did the episode feel like more filler? Yeah, but I mean, I'm still glad that we got that we've had more of an extended time with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And young Leia.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're like breaking canon at all with Leia now knowing who Obi-Wan is? Because I feel like up to that point they had just referred to him as Ben, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
I changed my mind. I changed my mind on it.
Go ahead.
When we watched it, I said, "Oh, they broke canon," but now I don't think they did.
How?
Do you think they'll like wipe her mind?
What did you watch that told you that?
No, I didn't. Someone
Where'd you get this idea
so,
from?
Garrett Dersma, who listens to the show, he always, after everything, he posts like his spoiler thoughts, and he's like tags me in it, and so I comment. One of the guys that commented, he's like, I don't think it broke canon, and it made sense to me. I was like, okay, I can go with that. When you look at the line, what she says, the first part is almost like a request, like a professional request, like, "Dear Obi Wan Kenobi, you fought with my father alongside my father," right? So she goes through this whole thing. He needs your help now. And then at the end of it is then when she adds the personal, which is, she says, "Help me, Obi Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope," right? So she's reaching out to him first, like on her father's behalf, as she would as an envoy, because that's what she does, right? He's a senator. She has been sent to do these things. So it's an envoy. You have the official request. She gives the request for Obi-Wan, and then at the end is then when she adds the personal thing.
But what did she name him in that personal envoy?
Well, she says Obi-Wan. The first one is Obi-Wan.
No, the second part.
Well, she does.
What did she call him in the second
Yeah,
part?
She says, help me, Obi-Wan
Kenobi, but she knows who he is. But that to me is like,
So you're saying she knows who he is in
Yes,
theoretically,
she's
in
making
episode
a personal request to him. That's how the guy put it, and I was like, okay, if it goes this way and they leave it like that, I could get behind that being like, okay, she did the official father's request, and then at the end she adds the personal.
So like now you can almost like go back and watch that scene and see it in a different way as like almost like exposition.
She's like, remember that time
for the
when
audience,
you
like,
saved me twice?
hey, this is
she's not going to put that in because she's
this is
doing
who
it real quick.
This is
They're
who Obi
getting on
Wan
the ship.
is.
But she's like, do a personal plea to him, my friend Obi Wan, help me, Obi Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. I was like, okay, that could work if I want to think about it that way. And I have to see.
I mean, you can make anything work. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, sure, awesome,
Guys, it works for me.
That's great.
To me, it's
But
not
I don't agree with
big
that.
of a deal, anyways. To
It
be
isn't.
like, they destroy. So to me,
they
I'm
didn't
like,
destroy
whatever.
anything.
Like I can work around anything.
Yeah.
really.
That's the thing. For me, it's like, I don't care. Like, it really doesn't bother me one bit. If I'm like, well, how does she know what, like, he knows who Obi Wan
And
is?
then doesn't
I'm like,
she?
who
Doesn't she
cares?
in the movie when he's like, "I'm here with Obi Wan. I came to rescue you," and he's like, she say something
She goes,
like,
that old guy?
No, doesn't she go like, "He's here" or something like that? Doesn't she make a?
So Luke comes in and says, I'm here with Ben Kenobi, and I think she repeats it, doesn't she? She's like, Ben Kenobi? Where is he?
So that was like, oh, my old friend Ben Kenobi. See, it works again.
These guys are geniuses.
It's definitely weak, but you can buy whatever you want.
Here's the thing: the writer for the show, in an interview yesterday, said he's like, we know a bunch of people are saying that it breaks canon, and he's like, it'll all make sense at the end. So, according to them, maybe Leia gets hit in the head and she forgets.
Will Smith comes in.
Yeah.
Look into this laser, please.
I thought it slaps her.
Well, afterwards too. Yeah, makes her forget
so
and slaps her.
I
It's a
think,
G.I. Jane joke.
I think once it's over, then we can have the discussion like, did it break canon? But right, it's kind of interesting just to be like, everyone like, you got the two sides, right? One side that's like, they're destroying it, and the other side that's like, hey, but what if I massage it around here
And
it
then
still works?
Then you have the reasonable people who don't care.
Exactly. If the original trilogy came out today, people would be upset about everything in those movies. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
There's so many inconsistencies through the three that people would be like, what? Now it's his sister? That doesn't make any sense.
I
He
don't
kissed her in
remember
the first
owning
one.
a droid before.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, dude, just relax. This is a story being told
it's not a
across
big deal, yeah.
decades. Like, calm down. It's going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not to mention people just still thinking that the Grand Inquisitor is dead, which I don't buy.
The only issue I see is that you're building off of an existing story and there's set points that are facts.
Yeah.
So that's where you get into trouble because you're like, oh, well, they're like holding hands at the end of this and they're like really have a very strong emotional moment between the two. Why aren't they having kind of an emotional connection, you know, when they meet each other in the old movie? You know what I mean? Like, but these are things that they're kind of roping themselves into, these like very tight, very detailed story beats.
Well,
But it's gray area because they never meet.
They
He
never
dies
meet
before she meets him.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But here's the other thing.
But wouldn't she like,
You would think that she would like
There's a lot
act
of
more like Luke
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
in that
But
moment.
here's
Like,
the thing,
like,
the
she
reason
lost
she doesn't
a
act that way is
uncle.
because they didn't know that.
But
like,
No, they did know. They knew from that point
Like
that
George Lucas didn't.
but that's my point.
why.
That's
He wrote
exactly
out
my
the
point.
whole
Journal of
thing.
You
Luke-
understand?
of, Luke Starkiller.
Like they're having to write into an existing story. So.
Although where it does enhance is that she named her son Ben.
Yeah.
So that's where in the sequels it works, but it's those ones.
Those
in the,
elevating the sequels, baby.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
anything to elevate the sequels, I'm there for.
So what do you guys think? To kind of finish this discussion, got 2 episodes left. First, I want to know like where your 4 episodes in, what your rating is for the show. Absolutely, it's not done yet because we got 2 episodes.
Okay.
So because I want to see by the end of the 2 episodes if it goes up or kind of stays the same, and then kind of what do you hope to see in the next 2 episodes. So Corey, how would you go first?
If I had to rank it, just if it ended now,
Yeah,
basically.
if it ended now. They saved Leia, and it's over.
I'm gonna be honest.
That's not good because my rating is gonna go way down if this is the end of it. The story up until now, knowing we've got two more.
Knowing you got two more, what are you rating it?
I think I just have there's just a lot of issues that I find with the series so far, and so for me it's kind of a weaker score. I'd probably put in like a high 6, like a 6.8 or 6.7, something like that. It's just there's just not enough in this show that really sells me the full package of a Star Wars show. So, obviously these next 2 episodes are going to do a lot for me. Hopefully.
And what do you want? If you could have anything, what do you want? I mean,
if there's some magical resolution between Obi Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. If that even exists and they deliver on that, awesome. That'd be sick.
Okay.
That'd be amazing. The only issue I'm having is this Reva character. I'm not sure what they do with her, or if she's like, will she be killed by the end of it? Will she be a key component to a second season?
Yeah.
If it ends up being like this key component to the second season, I'm not going to be super pumped, but I'm just interested. I'm not too sure what I want. Maybe for her to, I don't know, cross Darth Vader in a show of power. He just gets rid of her or something, but they're not going to do that. So I think the most important thing is the Darth Vader Obi-Wan connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh, go ahead.
It's probably up until now, probably like a 7-8 for me. I think in order for it to really go higher than that, they need to really close out and deliver with a good Obi-Wan, some good Obi-Wan and Darth Vader moments. That's what I want to focus more on. Like, show me more of that struggle between them. I thought we were going to get more of it when he kind of saw Anakin. Like in episode 3, when he was seeing that, I was like, that's really cool. And I really want to explore that aspect of it more. So I just want, they got to give me some real good Darth Vader, Obi-Wan stuff in the last 2 episodes. And hopefully that'll push it over. Cause I think that's the only thing that's been missing for me. Everything. I mean, there's been some misses on execution, but overall I've really liked what they've given us. And honestly, the stuff with young Leia has just been a bonus that I wasn't expecting. But if they really deliver on the Obi-Wan Vader stuff, it's going to push it up a lot higher for me.
Nick?
I'm pretty close to where Josh is sitting. High 7, low 8. Overall, I still really enjoy the show. I can kind of look past the Reva stuff. But yeah, I really hope they stick the landing with just Vader and Obi-Wan content. And maybe it's not too late for some flashback stuff, but that type of stuff really is what is gonna nail the landing for me for the show. So, So
6.8,
7, 8.
Sorry, 7.
Yeah, high 7, low 8.
What is it?
Oh, 7.
Oh, nice.
Couldn't be the same.
You scared him out of a low 8.
You scared
That's
me.
hilarious.
I'm more on Corey's. I'm a 6.9 scratch and a 7.
Perfect.
Just because I feel like
that's really positive.
I feel like
it's really good with an unfinished series.
I'm along the same things Josh said. I wanted more of the Obi-Wan dealing with what we got in the first episode, where he's having dreams, where he's remembering stuff. That's what I kind of wanted more of, like his conflict, his memories. I think that was really strong in the first episode, and then it kind of, they've showed us like a few scenes with it, and then it's like, oh, let's get something else. I would rather sit in that, and I know it's not fun, so I know they have to have like action and Star Wars-y stuff, but for me, that's what I was excited for. I wanted that kind of like depressive Obi-Wan. And so, but I still think they have a great chance to finish it, and then they could give us 2 fantastic episodes, and it could be up to like 8 and 9. Like, because I still think they've given me a taste of it, and they can still pull it off. Like Josh said, I like the Leia stuff. The third sister is what for me is bringing it down the most. But what I'm hoping for is obviously a big end with Vader and Obi-Wan, final confrontation, where they give us a little more dialogue and a little more emotion in it, and it looks better. This is the other thing too. If we go back,
more piles of rocks.
I think they've been holding back to kind of give us something at the end. So I'm expecting a flashback. I'm expecting Qui-Gon Jinn, and I'm expecting
Jar Jar.
I'm expecting the confrontation. But if we go back to the first trailer, we got Duel of the Fates. We haven't gotten anything that resembles like the old music. No Force theme, nothing. I think they're going to hit us over the head with Force theme,
Battle of Heroes,
Duel of the Fates. I think we're going to get
the Empire's March.
I think we're going to get full John Williams
and the Spider-Man PS4 theme
in at least the final episode, because I think a lot of people have been like, "Where's the music?" And I think they've been saving it. I think they've been saving it to be like, "Well, we're not there for the final confrontation yet." I think they're going to blow people's brains out.
Jeez Louise, with music.
That's
in a video game.
Hey guys, you know me. I always shoot high.
Himself.
I'm shooting high.
For this one.
Then,
I'll add a little bit.
Come on,
of
yes, C-Dog. Come on, baby.
Whoa, it wasn't going to be the good one. It was going to be I'm concerned about it because of the whole rewriting of the endings. So I'm like,
if that's true, right?
If that's true, I'm a little concerned.
I don't think it is.
Okay, great, awesome. Have that in writing,
and we may never know.
Thank you, sir.
It just seems crazy that they're like,
I think we will.
All right, get around the volume real quick. We're gonna change in the series. Send it in.
I don't think it's that hard to change a character's death. You cut that scene, and then you have.
I mean, they did it in Spider-Man: No Way Home, right?
Yeah.
Well, aren't there rumors that she's getting her own spinoff show?
That's a rumor now.
Yeah.
That she's going to get like a spin-off prequel thing.
Well, we'll see.
It'll be different. If it's a show about her escaping Order 66 and how she turned into the third sister, that might be more interesting.
I would like that because it's more of an Inquisitor
show.
Right. Like you get to see all the background with that. That'd be kind of cool. But
we'll find out here soon enough because the new episode drops in a couple days.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Keep it here on the Nerd Age podcast for all your Obi-Wan news, and we'll see you guys all next week.
Don't change that dial.
Bye, guys.
See ya.